Hey, everybody. Nick will be along momentarily. He is back in the silver mine, mining some more Silver Age goodies. I wanted to talk a little bit before we get started on what's in stores this week from Dynamite Comics. First book up this week I want to talk about is, here we go, James Bond, Agent of Spectre, number 5. This has just been a really, really cool James Bond roller coaster ride. Everything Dynamite has done with James Bond has just been so on point, channeling of Ian Fleming's spirit. In a lot of cases, I enjoy these way more than the movies they pump out every 3.5 years, and they're, kind of manufactured to different standards. This is just great art and great storytelling. Christos Gage obviously understands Bond. Now, this book is the finale of the Spectre Civil War. Now, one of the things I like to say all the time on social media is nobody dies in comics, particularly at Dynamite. This is James Bond finale here. James Bond will be back. James Bond is always back. I cannot recommend enough picking this up, going to your local comic book shop. If you haven't, pick up the back issues. Just really, really just going to pop open, some brutal, typical sort of Bond violence, exactly what you want to see in here. I get very impatient waiting for James Bond movies. They don't make them fast enough, especially when you binge them, and then you're ready for the next one and it's not there. I'll tell you right now, if you're like me, longtime Bond fan, these books absolutely kind of get you over the hump to the next movie. And in and of themselves are just absolutely spot on what I want to see. Next book I want to talk just a little bit about, Vengeance of Vampirella 20. This is Tom Snagowski. This guy has this creator has tapped into like the old Warren series of books and kind of found that Vampirella spirit, and of course combined it with stories that are kind of new and fresh and entertaining. We've seen Vampirella in space. We've seen Vampirella everywhere. This is sort of Vampirella for people who maybe haven't been following this as closely as they should have, and trust me, you should have. This is Vampirella like after the apocalypse. She's resurrected for like the 19th time, but like everything else in this world, she's not properly resurrected. She's kind of missing that vampy quality, which a lot of us like. And it's a really cool, interesting take on the character.
Has she lost that loving feeling? While I'm mining Silver Age, I just want to know, has she lost that loving feeling?
You know what? She really has lost that loving feeling.
About her missing something.
She has lost that loving feeling. There are basically two types of Vampirella fans. There are Vampirella fans who like a little bit of like a wink and a nod to a little bit of lightheartedness. Vampirella always has, pardon the pun, a wicked sense of humor. And then there are people who prefer Vampirella to be straight horror. Everybody kind of likes what they like. This is a little bit more.
Did you say hi to Ronald? As I'm looking through Silver Age, I see Ronald saying hi.
Oh, hey, Ronald. I'm sorry. I can't see. Once Nick gets here, we'll put up the screen for the comments. I can't really see who's here yet.
It looks like Amy took the night off because usually she gives you those cues.
Yeah, I just like, you know what? People get popular they get over with the audience, and the next thing you know, the performance plummets.
I'm busy.
Amy is still fixing my mistakes from last episode. For the fans of the more, edgier horror-based stuff, this is your Vampirella.
Listen, let me chime in real quick. Hold on. Let's see that real quick.
Okay.
Ronald, how are you, brother? It's great to see you, or at least be seen by you. Samantha, how are you? The way you buy them during this live show, Samantha, is you claim and talk about the issue number. If you have items that you would like to purchase that we do not have on the air, just ask us about them and we'll see what we can do. But, I want to just real quick, because I am really excited. I am looking for some cool Silver Age stuff tonight we have X-Men 31 to 40. We have all 10-issue run. We're going to start seeding more and more and more silver and bronze as we go.
We're going to get you a miner's hat with a lamp. So that
Matter of fact, I might even bring a little burn action since we're talking about burn.
Oh, no.
But Deja Thar versus John Carter. If you have not tried this out yet, consider it. Ask your local retailer for it. This just came out today. It is Dan Abnett. It is an incredibly well-written story. It is such beautiful artwork. I just want to show real quick this it's not a double page spread, but the splash and the other page. That is the kind of action you could get here. Again, check out, you can ask your local retailer for it. Check out the 800 Comic Shop locator. When it comes to Vengeance of Vampirella, we're down to the last 6 issues by Tom Snigalski. This run has been fantastic.
Are we really, though? Can't we just ask Tom to keep writing?
Tom has a new series.
Oh, does he?
Vampyverse.
Oh.
So listen, all good things come to an end. Hopefully all bad things come to an end too. But in this case, all good things come to an end. Tom wrote Vengeance of Vampirella 27 years ago. For the 25th anniversary of his series ending, we launched a new Vengeance of Vampirella series. It was always set up to be 25 issues. And even though the series has been incredibly successful, the last thing you ever want to do is drag something out where the positive memory gets erased. So this Vengeance of Vampirella right now, just Snigalski is killing it, and he's working with Michael Santamaria and Hubert Ball on handling the art. Omri handling the colors.
Look at the cover.
Yeah, the cover of Lucio Perello. Again, ask your local retailer for this if you find this of interest. And also ask for the back issues. Obviously, you can order it here if you like. You were talking about James Bond. James Bond rocks. Yeah. But you know what? Ronald's in the house. And last time you guys made Ronald wait forever to show him the remark. So let's get Ronald's remark out of the way early.
Okay.
Action 1000. Adam and Rebecca Cleveland. I still got to go find the other books. What do we got on this MSRP, my friend? You've got the paperwork. I do not.
Let's see where we are here.
Oh, too slow. I'll do it. Jesus. God. He takes forever, doesn't he? Watch. Now Nick's taking forever.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's break time.
It is $89.99. We have 3 of these, but this is a 5-star book. We're going to do this for $50. It's kind of a Ronald Wilfredo special.
I was going to say, that's,
you know,
I wonder if Wilfredo's comic sense is going off and he's like, oh, I better get in the room.
Yeah, right? I think he's working tonight, so he may be chiming in. It's the days off he doesn't come in. So check it out. Hand-drawn. Pretty cool. $50. It's usually $89.99. So
it's like a nice, it's a good price for original art. I mean, you know, it's a quintessential character. There's not a whole lot you have to say more than that, other than we have 3 of them.
Yes.
And, you know, I wouldn't wait. You know, I wouldn't wait a long time if there's only 3 of them.
A little bit more entailed than we normally do, which is fantastic. You know, a lot of great support. Let's see. What do we want to do next? I mean, you were talking about Grimm and how much your wife loves Grimm.
I was.
Talk a little bit more about Grimm.
Sure.
While I go mine again. And by the way, these are signed by the actual writers and producers of the show.
That's nice. These are going to be. Do we have the price for those?
Did you guys hear the woohoo from Amy?
Amy's a huge Grimm fan, as my wife is. My guess is they'll be doing Grimm Book Club soon.
They are $69.99 each, but we are going to do an incredible price of $20.11 each to commemorate the year the show first premiered. And Ronald is taking a Superman remark. You got it, Ronald. 1 down, 2 to go. So talk about Grimm a little bit.
Grimm is one of these things which started off kind of in a...
You got it, Ronald. 1 down, 2 to go. Jesus, so talk about Grimm a little bit. Grimm is... There we go.
There we go.
Get Nick out of the way.
Technical issues. This is a series that kind of started off low-key. And it kind of had a real...
Not the Marvel low-key.
No.
Not the TNA low-key.
Oh, that? You know what? He's actually a really cool dude. I met him at a show. He's a little like metaphysical, but he's cool. This has maintained a loyal fan base, small and strong. It very much reminds me of Firefly in that, not the property, but in the fan base. You know, these are people I go to cons, I see people dressed as Hex and Beasts. They get the makeup done. A good way to put this is these are semi-canon. These are stories obviously set in the universe, but you don't have to have seen the whole show. You know what I mean? They're standalone stories. And to be signed by the creators of the show at this price point, $20.11, I'm surprised he's made it past Amy's desk because she's a huge fan. I'm waiting to get a text from my wife. Where do I Venmo Nick's money? I would not wait too long. I would absolutely not wait too long for these. The art here is just, I'm going to hold these up for a second just so people can kind of focus. Lucio Perilla covers, signed by Mark Gaffin and Kyle McVeigh. This is sort of we talked about this before. People want collectibles and they don't know quite where, how, and when to jump in. This is something really cool. You don't get a ton of books signed by show creators. You know, obviously there's a crossover. There's not a ton of that there. Let's see.
We were really lucky because we got them to write the comic. So that is the most in-canon comic you can get. And I found some of that silver I've been digging for.
We're absolutely going to get Nick the miner's hat and the light so that when he comes in. Oh, you know what? Nick will be back in a second, but there's no way I'm not going to be able to talk about this real quick. Masks and Masks.
Sorry, real quick.
No.
All right, I found the silver.
Oh.
Wait till you guys check it out. Like I said, we have X-Men 31 to 40 here tonight. Really, really great, compelling prices. But I have a little bit more silver. It is absolutely fantastic, and it is for everyone.
Oh, so you'd like me to reach in here and
No, don't touch him at all. It's the one thing. I do not trust John with any Silver Age or Bronze.
Look at these hands.
Books.
They are not delicate hands meant for.
No. But let's talk about Masks.
Masks is one of my, and I did this on a live Twitter broadcast a couple of years ago when Masks was published. I absolutely love this. I'm a big pulp guy. When you are able to get the Shadow, Green Hornet and Kato, Black Terror, there's a host of other characters in this. I would suggest anyone who is like, what's all the hype about pulp? Start with Masks. Start with Masks 2. Start with Shadow, Green Hornet, Dark Knights.
Start with something Dynamite.
I mean, other people are doing pulp. They're just not doing it properly.
Right.
This is absolutely, you know what? This is Gold Signature Series.
It is Elite Gold Signature Series by Jay Lee. And it is very, very limited. Extremely limited. Yeah. And what's it limited to? Let's take a quick look. It is limited to 25 in the world. So this is number 24 out of 25, Elite Gold Signature Series. This is $89.99 MSRP.
Yeep.
But we're only going to sell one of these tonight. We are only going to sell one, and we are going to have some fun. We are going to sell this for $20.04 because that's the year Dynamite Entertainment first started. So $20.04 for an $89.99 MSRP with only one available. So whether you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, our website, or Twitter, only one lucky person will be able to get this. And what I will say is something I always say, or not often enough actually. If you like what you're seeing, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Please make sure you're still subscribed. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, hit those hearts. We would love you for it.
Share and hit the notification bell, so that when we go on, you get a little bit of a heads up.
Exactly. Especially share if you can. It would be wonderful you could share. So even if you don't like me and you're disappointed that it's not the Rex and John show with Amy as the wing girl, even if you're disappointed, hit like anyway, because John's still here, Amy's still here, Kyle's still here. You got the best. You got 3 out of 4 great people.
Kyle was screaming into his microphone, I'm sure. How much does it cost? How much does it cost?
So
$20. You should check the private chat.
Check the private chat. Jared, Richard Ship, how are you, sir? Good to have you on board, my friend. So check it out.
I love when we see
Jay Lee Elite Gold Signature Series. Let's see what else is going on. So the private chat is saying that John and Nick are in trouble.
Oh, what?
That's what the private chat's saying. Maybe we should ignore the private chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, shut that off. Kyle, just forward those comments.
The host has
Don't forget that Kyle can mute.
Which he just did. The host has muted us.
It's probably for the best.
I'll for you. It's okay.
It's moot.
Thank you, Amy.
It's Utes.
Hi, Amy.
It's the 2 non-Utes on the air.
I'm waiting next week. The graphic is just like Amy on comics. And then it's the music.
I'll do it. That's fine.
All right, you want to take my place?
Right now, fine. Or if people actually want me on, that's the big question.
Should she wait till Wilfredo's here?
I know, right? Shouldn't we do a build-up?
We should do a build-up. You know what? Why don't you pick a day, and it'll be Amy and someone good, not one of us.
Not me or you.
Not me or you. We'll find someone really good.
It'll be somebody really good. Let's see. Kyle in third person looks creepy, popping in and out like Hal. That's got to be.
Oh, look at that. Somebody's starting to chant.
Oh, God.
It's like wrestling.
That's Kyle. Amy. Kyle. That's Kyle.
Oh, is that Kyle?
That's Kyle.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's why you're seeing it 3 times, because he popped it on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook.
It's a crowd chant.
Thank God he can't pop it on our website. Otherwise, it would be there.
I just got a text.
Look, Mass 2 #1. This is the second series. It's a great series. Colin Bunn wrote it. Iman Salas drew it. And this is the Jay Lee cover. Elite Gold Signature Series, limited to 25 signed in Elite Gold Signature, $89.99, $20.04. Now, look, it's a great read. As we always talk about, we have a certificate of authenticity and the holofoil seal. With Dynamite and Dynamic Forces, we paid extra to allow you to have the holofoil seal taken off, so that you can take the comic out and carefully read it. And I just want to show you some of the beautiful artwork here. Now, the other thing that we always say is, if you see the comic, even if you do not buy the signed book here on our site, but it interests you, ask your local retailer for it. Ask your local retailer for the trade paperback. Support your LCS. Go to the 800 Comic Shop Locator Service and really just check out the books, whether they are Dynamite, Dynamic Forces, Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse. Support the publishers and support the retailers. There are a lot of great comics out there, and you just got to check them out. So, go ahead. You wanted to hold it for a sec?
No, I did want to hold it for a second. I wanted to point out there's other few really cool characters in here that Dynamite has books for, that if you like them, characters like Miss Fury. I was fortunate enough to sit at the panel right in the front row a couple of years ago when Billy Tucci talked about Miss Fury. And this is a character that you kind of see in the background, and you don't realize this is a character that kind of predates Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she does. There's no kind of, she does.
As the first, we'll say headline woman adventure.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff that Dynamite has done. If you're interested, go to your local comic book store. If not, go to the website. As Kyle always likes to point out, you can go to any of probably the websites of the people who do these shows. and they'll be able to help you with this stuff. There's almost like, for me, there's a saturation point for superhero comics, and I think pulp is sort of like the antidote for that.
Pulp is the antidote to a degree, but pulp is also the basis of all superheroes.
Yeah,
because you would not have Batman without the Shadow. You would not have Superman without
Didn't someone
Doc
actually
Savage
say that in in the Batman Shadow comic? Lamont Cranston reminded Bruce Wayne.
Fix the camera real quick, because you're only like halfway on the screen, so
Who,
now
me?
I can see you.
Oh, I was told that people wanted to see me less, so I'm trying to go in and out, not scare people, not breaking their
Oh no,
windows.
we're gonna do
So I'm doing it on purpose.
Nick Barucci Two-Face.
Half face.
That's,
We're gonna do half face. There we go.
People, they're gonna get confused.
that's a Dick Tracy version.
All right, so the Doc Savage. Keep in mind, Clark Kent's name came from Doc Savage's
Name is Clark Savage.
or wasn't it something Clark?
No, he's Clark Savage, and
Okay.
the cousin he's Clark Savage Jr.
Okay,
His father is Clark Savage Sr.,
okay,
who we find out in Will Murray novels was an adventurer in his own right, and the first person to actually arrive on Skull Island to see King Kong.
really?
Yeah.
Learn something new every day. I did not know that. So, the thing is with this story, too, it's got some of Dynamite's biggest pulp characters. This has the Shadow, Green Hornet, Kato, Black Terror, and just so many more masked vigilantes. They're fighting the Red Death, the villain who is almost impossible to stop. Eventually, they stop him. That's why the series
Spoiler
ends.
alert.
Spoiler, they eventually stop him by issue 6 or 8. But this is just a really cool comic. Like I said, there's only 25 of these. Do we have the first run of this? We do, Richard. We have the trade paperback at the very least. We can provide you with the trade paperback. You can pick up the trade paperback at your local retailer. Let us know what you want to do. Ask us live or email us in the submission form. We're happy to work with you, sir. So going back to this is a great sequel. I mean, Chris Roberson and Alex Ross worked on the first issue of part 1. Then Dennis Calero took over 2 and up. And then in this new series, we wanted to get somebody that really, really understood the characters. And Cullen Bunn really just stepped up. And
I was busy, so he had to go with a slightly more popular person. You know what, though? It's funny.
I don't know what to do with John.
It sounds a little bit...
Okay, so Richard, if you want to trade paperback in this book, just let us know. We are only selling 1 copy tonight at this price. This is limited to 25 in the world.
Yeah, this is essentially 74, 73% off. It's a huge
It's an
savings for a very cool
$89.99 book. And so getting it at $20, that's more than 75% off. So done deal. You got it. And we'll get back to you on the trade paperback as well. Sold out. Can we get a sold out sticker? Not to John. Make sure it says not to John or to to Kyle.
I was just about to say we have 2 hours. At 2 hours and 1 minute, this book will be mine. So there's one. So make sure,
guys. Ship wants the trade, not the mask you're holding up.
Oh, okay. Just a trade.
Yep.
It's he wrote, I'm interested in the trade paperback and that book.
Well, I think the deal was for the trade, but Richard, that's why you need to type the title and the number into the comments.
Yes, that does help everyone.
If you could do it in your English accent, that would be extra helpful, Richard.
Richard, just write Masks 2 #1 Jay Lee plus Volume 1 trade paperback. That will make it far easier for us. Now, Amy is on the job and she is writing that down as well. But anything you can do to help, that'll be awesome. By the way, for those people that weren't here for it, we have Action Comics 1000 remarked. This is by Adam and Rebecca Cleveland. This is an $89.99 book with the remark. This is hand drawn. We've sold 1. We have 2 left. Which Cleveland did the pencils and which did the inks and colors? You know what? Amy will ask Mariano. Mariano knows this usually. So we will get you the information. So if anyone is interested, we have this available.
to John or Kyle. There's no smile. There's no frowny face though.
So we are going to move on because we are going to have to go to break in about 2 minutes.
And you know, Rex is right. The audience does not want to see me take these books home. I've been told throughout Twitter that people don't like when I take the book.
This is the silver that I was mining for.
Ooh,
First in Humans. Ramatut, first appearance. And FF 26. It's a really cool reader's copy. Our pleasure, Ronald. So we've got quite a few things. We've got 1 minute to break. What we're going to do right now is just really quick show this. This is Deadpool versus X-Force, number 4, signed by Dwayne Straczynski. This is limited to 50 copies. And Dwayne has not been doing much work these days in the comics market. He's been focusing on his prose work. The last work he did was with Archie a few years ago. I'm trying to remember what the MSRP was. This was $29.99, but we're going to do this for $19.90, the year Deadpool first appeared. And as we're offering this, I'm sorry, the year Cable first appeared, there's only 2 copies. So only 2 people will be able to get this. This is limited to 50. Only 2 people will get it. Now, Dwayne Straczynski, in my opinion, is one of the best writers in the industry. I wish he was doing more. He's a novelist primarily, but his run on his Marvel comics and some of the Dynamite comics with Ex-Con were excellent. But if you were to go to a comic convention, would you be able to get Deadpool versus X-Force signed by Dwayne easily? Because will he be at a comic convention now that he's not writing as many comics? And would you get a Dynamic Forces certificate of authenticity or a holofoil seal?
We've talked about cons, what it's going to be for 2021.
If it's going to be. Look at what's happening right now.
If they're doing cons, how they're doing cons. You're going to find this book and you're going to wait online for signature. If the creator shows up, the prices are probably going to be, I hate to say it, the prices will be inflationary to a certain degree.
Hey, man, look at how much buffalo wings are these days. They're 4 times the normal price.
I have friends in the industry, and they're just basically they're serving wings at cost.
Yeah.
They're hoping to make the money up elsewhere. So this is your best bet to find, I've said this before at different platforms, this is your best bet to find collectibles conveniently and at the most competitive price.
Delivered to your door.
And you can use that time you save not waiting online at cons to do other stuff, go to panels.
Yeah. When we come back in 2 minutes, we'll have more to show you. That's for certain. Here you go. I'll come in for this.
Are we back? We're back. Nick is back in the silver mine. He'll be back in a minute because I know you guys are, really tuning in for him. I love the beginning of this thing, the little bumpers where we see young Nick, because I almost feel like we see young Nick, and now it's almost like, how we've got like Old Man Logan and Old Man Quill and Old Man Hawkeye. It's almost like we have Old Man Nick now, and we get like a grayer, grimmer, grittier version. Let's see. What do we want to do?
Silver and gold.
Oh, the silver and gold.
Unfortunately, we already found some silver and some gold. Now I'm coming back with some bronze and some copper.
Oh, I'll tell you, some of this Bronze Age stuff tugs at heartstrings. Everyone talks about silver and gold stuff, right? So Gold and Silver Age. You see these Bronze Age books, and I watch them. They just pull people. It's like crab into crab.
I'm going to actually have fun. I'm going to do something that no business person in his right mind would do. I just bought these on the Fat Jack Sour on the Experience.
Okay.
And I paid $8 for this Action Comics 600. And you've got Perez inking Byrne in here, which is great. And I just paid $45 for this X-Men 137. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to offer these at the same price I bought them at. I just bought these. But, if I'm mining for silver and gold, I wanted to find the silver and the gold. So
I have a question. You understand how business works. When you buy something at a certain price, in theory, you should be selling it for more than you paid.
You know what? I got inspired by everybody selling buffalo wings at cost.
You know what? I mean, I tell people right now, this is a time to go and try buffalo wings, because at the way things are going, there are places I'm already starting to see they're moving to thighs, they're moving to drumsticks.
Yeah, they're moving to boneless.
Boneless. Nobody ever thought, like, of all
Why
the
are we
things.
talking about food? We're talking about the increase of cost.
Yeah,
of
we're
comics.
talking increase, and that's going to pass on down to comics to a certain extent. I don't mean to bring the room down, but you guys, when you go to cons and you go to shows, you're going to see that, the kind of inflation vibe has hit comics a little bit.
Here's something that's really rare that I can't believe we're offering at this price of $49.99.
Oh, that's mine, sir.
You can't get this anywhere. This is only going to be offered. I really think we should. I'm not even kidding. This is number 20 of 35. This is Justice, Volume 3, signed by Alex Ross and Jim Kruger. So this is $49.99, and this comes with a certificate of authenticity, okay? And this is when we were working with DC, and we were putting the DC logo with the Dynamic Forces logo. So please, enough with food getting hungry. You got it, Richard.
I get that a lot, Richard. I'm sorry.
We just want you to be hungry for comics. So this is $49.99. I don't think you can get an Alex Ross signature for $49.99 anymore. So this is quite possibly.
I think Sal's cover charge is like $300. He's like.
So it's a great book. It's signed by Alex and by Jim Kruger. It's a fantastic series. Look at the artwork. It is just so pretty. We would open it up, but you know what? John's got Butterfingers.
No, sir, you would open it up.
I would say John has Butterfingers, but it's more like John has beat up the product figures.
There's non-tactile clause in my Dynamite contract. Don't touch anything.
Dynamic Forces, hollow foil seal, easy to come off.
And you know how a lot of times we talk about, you could get this at a show or at a store. This is not the case here.
And by the way, just FYI, the comic itself was $19.99.
I was just going to say, when you said $49.99, I thought the comic was like $29.99 for some reason.
When will DC retcon Doomsday Clock? Die Hard, I have no idea. I'm not allowed in those meetings. For some reason, I get my invitation keeps getting lost in the mail.
I know, right?
Check out the beautiful painted. Now, look, we talk about, I am sorry, but I need to ask this. Don't be sorry.
No.
That's what we're here for. Look at how beautiful this artwork is. And we talk about getting signatures at shows. Alex hardly does any shows. Hardly. And I don't think he's going to be doing any while we're going back into a new pandemic. We're going into phase 3. You know, we're in the Delta variant right now.
You will not see the Alex Ross helicopter landing in San Diego this year. That much I'm pretty sure.
Matter of fact, you wouldn't know this. We're like 8 feet apart from each other. We just happen to be really. No, I'm kidding. No, you're
in two separate locations.
Exactly. Check out. Look at how beautiful that is. So $49.99. I promise you, this is the last time we will have this at this price, because Alex's signature these days, I think, is $25. So this is Silver Signature Series as well. This is signed by Alex and Jim Kruger. You know what? Actually, I was about to seal this, but you know what? I want to show the entire wraparound cover. So Kingdom Come-esque. Look at that. It's a great read. Look, this is what I'll suggest. You might want to buy Volume 3 here signed. Pick up Volume 1 and 2 from your local retailer. If you don't buy Volume 3 here signed and you find this as compelling as we do, look at how beautiful that is. Only Alex can paint like this. Still go pick up the entire series from your local retailer. It's a great read. Jim Kruger and Alex Ross are one of the best creative teams this industry has ever had. And anytime they work together, it is magic. And I cannot give this more of a thumbs up than I already am. Yeah. And this will not be coming back at $49.99. So it does. I can honestly say, Ronald?
Okay, Ronald.
All right, another sold out. Ronald, you will love this. And Pretty Please with Sugar, go to your local retailer and pick up Volume 1 and 2 to read them. It is a great read. It is such a perfect story. And that's one of the things that Alex does so well. He gives you complete stories. You know, whether it's Kingdom Come, Marvels, obviously. Oh, you didn't put not John, not Kyle. Whether it's Marvels, and he only expands upon stories when it really makes sense. And I think that you saw that with Earth X and Paradise X.
Yeah.
And that was drawn by the late great that was drawn by the late great John Polion.
Yeah, I was going to say so.
You know, and Bill Reinhold did a great job inking him, which was fantastic. But
there's very few creators that all you have to do is say their name, and you literally don't have to say anything else.
Right.
You know, like everything is already built in and understood, right? When you say something, Alex Ross has done something. In your mind, if you're familiar with the work, you already start getting these impressions. For me, I was fortunate enough to see Alex Ross literally the day, I think it was Astro City #1, hit the newsstand. I stopped and looked and my head turned and I was like, what is that? And then I think from there I went backing up Marvels. And, you know, I've been a fan literally. I've seen the comment. People say Alex Ross is comic books Norman Rockwell.
He is.
And I think there's no, you know, he is. There's no debating that. The thing about this more than anything else is Alex Ross takes.
This is funny. Ship is asking, are you buying up stock again? And Kyle said, only on Friday night art show. Matter of fact, Kyle specializes. We all have a specialty. I love The Flash. I love George Perez. I love Green Lantern. I love Gil Kane. I love Carmine Infantino. I love Frank Miller. I love Daredevil. I love John Romita Sr. and Jr. I love Submariner.
We love comics. Why don't we just buy one?
I love Steve Englehart. Kyle loves to buy anything Nick's interested in. So that's his specialty. He wants to buy anything Nick's interested in. Ronald, I promise I will read it, but I'll do. Ronald, please read it. Pretty Please with Sugar, read it. It is a great read. I really want you to read it and enjoy it. And it's 12 issues. It is probably a week's worth of reading, a weekend. Time will fly when you read it. And that's the part that makes it worthwhile for me to have kept it out there at $49.99 tonight, was that it would find a good home of someone who would read it and talk about it.
That's like a gift of that's like a gift to the family.
It is. It is. All right. Speaking of gifts, all right.
You want to do more Silver Age? What do you?
Let's do Silver Age. All right. So tonight we have X-Men 31 versus the Cobalt Man. We have
Cobalt Man is the first character I remember trying to build Iron Man armor. It's not that easy.
No, apparently
it's
not.
not that easy.
X-Men 32 Juggernaut. X-Men 33 Juggernaut Part 2. I get it, Ronald. You're all about the collecting, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. All right, let's do X-Men 34. Check it out. In a world of darkness, 5 mutants fight together. A stone cold stone temple pilot. I don't know. But this cover, I love.
Oh, Along Came a Spider.
What a great ass shot. I mean, that's like Patrick Dempsey, like Roadhouse butt.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of Captain America when he says, "That's America's ass."
Check it out. Meccano lives. The opposite of Meccano dies. So John laughs because he gets paid to laugh. Well, actually, one day John should get paid, but
I want to be Ed McMahon. Yes, sir. And just laugh.
Here we go. X-Men 33 price. Give me 1 second. X-Men 33 price. You would think that I would know this stuff. I just want to finish showing real quick, okay? X-Men 38 with the Blob and the Vanisher. Now, X-Men 39, I really wanted to get to these two because X-Men 39, my favorite thing about this is the Not Brand Ek cover that emulates it. So I don't know if Kyle can find the Not Brand Ek cover. Swayze crazy. But
And that one has new costumes and new thrills.
check out. Here, you show this one. Just be careful.
All I'm touching is the plastic here. On a personal note, this is this is the first comic that I remember my dad buying for me without like me being there. He was stuck at a train station and he didn't know really anything about comics. He was a pulp guy. He saw Frankenstein and he saw Kids and he thought he'll like this. So of course he had no one to blame but himself.
Right.
When I sent
So the 33 is a 5.5. The 33 is a 5.5. It's you won 33, but not 34. Okay. So Patrick Swayze from Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
I said it wrong. Listen, just remember one thing.
Dalton.
Be nice. Well, how do we know when not to be nice? You won't know. I'll tell you. But be nice. All right. So X-Men 33. Just as a quick heads up, this is a 5.5. According to cover price, it's $109. According to Go Collect, it's $100. But what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to have it at $80. So pop it in.
It's $80.
According to Nick, it's $80. You know what? We want our fans happy. We want you to check it out. This is Dave and Cerrone. This is a place for positive talk about comics. Thanks for always bringing perfect 10 enthusiasm, Nick. Hey, Dave, thank you. We couldn't do it without you.
I think
we
Dave
love
just
you
wanted
guys.
the perfect 10 comic. It was a subliminal.
Oh, that's what it is. So this is definitely a great price. Kyle has been scouring eBay. He's giving us advice. He has said early silver like this at these prices are getting tougher and tougher to get. So it's a 5.5. There is a little bit of spine tick. We're going to work on the lights. There is a little bit of spine tick, but the beauty is if you look at it, there are no chips on the right side. None at all. It is beautiful. The color is incredible. And, we're always going to try and give it worst case scenario when we say something is a grade because we want you to be happy. There is nothing more important to us than your being happy because you're our family as the audience. The comic book community is a very tightly knit community. and we're all enjoying this together, and we all grow the industry together. This is why we talk about the comic shop locator service, why we ask you to go to your local comic store. Even if you don't buy anything we're offering, while we would love for you to buy the books we're offering, because obviously, look, as John was saying, look, I'm having fun. I'm in a very fortunate position where I can say, I just paid $8 for this, and I'm going to offer it for $8 because I love it. I just paid $45 for this, and I'm going to offer it for $45 because I love it. I'm in a very good position where I can do that. But as John said, we do need to try and make money. But even if you see items that we're offering and you don't buy them here, maybe it's a little bit too much right now. Maybe it's something you got to think about, or maybe you want to just read it and not buy the limited edition or sign. If you go to your local comic store, that helps the local comic store and it grows the industry. So we can only do it with you guys. We love what we do. This is a lot of fun. You bring us into your homes, and we appreciate that more than we can ever express.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, we try not to get too sappy, but it's true. I mean, otherwise it's just Nick sitting here tired of me, my suggestions on what I'd like him to publish, and there's no fun in that for anybody else.
John comes in, and what he never realized, and I guess this is going to break his heart, like John will come in, I'll be shaking my head yes to all his ideas, and then 2 minutes before we go in the air, I take the earplugs out.
It's the little earbuds. Oh, yeah.
No, I was just listening to a little music. What was that you said the last 20 minutes? So, all kidding aside, so let's see. What is the price for X-Men 34 Juggernaut Part 2? All right, Ronald, number 34. It's a 5.0. Go Collect has it at $60. We'll do it at $50. Why not? Go Collect has it at $60. We'll do $50, and I will show you the 34. So, like I said, this is a 5.0. That's what I said, right? So this is a 5.0. Unless John touches it, then it drops to a 4.5.
People screaming, don't let them near the books.
There, you know, again, you'll see a little bit of the spine ticks there. This could be pressed and cleaned easily. You'll notice that there are some scuffs at the top. But I just want to show this to you. But it is a beautiful book. It is an absolutely beautiful book. And it is something you'll love. Again, you know, as Kyle would say, getting the Silver Age books, they're going to get more difficult.
He's absolutely right. At an approachable price point, I mean, you're always going to be able to find a Silver Age book in a brick at a 9 point whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's going to be significant amount of money. Finding books like this, as we sometimes say, in the wild.
Right.
At shows, at your LCS, things that are going to be up on the wall. If you remember,
34 isn't part 2. 33 is part 2.
33 is part 2, Ronald.
33 is part 2, Ronald. It just hit me. He said Juggernaut part 2. So 33 is, that's the one we were talking about earlier. It's a 5.5. This is the one we're doing at $80. So it's going back to X-Men 33, the part 2 of the Juggernaut. This is a 5.5, and we're going to do it at $80. Sorry about that. You know what? You asked for the 34, but you meant 33, and I should have caught that when you said Juggernaut part 2. It's really trippy. You know what's really trippy? Marvel trying to do it's like a dark background, but they're trying to do like the sun hitting Juggernaut instead of, because otherwise the brown Juggernaut costume would look terrible. So do we have part 1? We do have part 1. We have part 1 somewhere.
Let me see right there.
Yes, part 1 right here. So 32 is a 7.0. And Cover Price has it at $145. Go Collect has it at $200. So what I'm going to do, let's see, Cover Price has it at $145. Cover Price has it at $200. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring it down to an even $100 if anybody wants it. So, Ron, don't worry about the mistake. So number 32, 32 is a 7.0. Again, 145 on cover price, 200 on Go Collect. I'm going to make it an even $100. So if you were to buy both, you're getting them for $180. And Kyle is very, very in tune with what market price is these days because he is always scouring eBay. So these are two books. Look, here's
So real quick, I did research on these for you today, right? And
right.
So number 32, the latest eBay sales are in the $140, $150 range for lower grade copies. You get into this kind of grade that's unpressed, you're looking at a $230, $240 book if you get it graded. If you don't get it graded, you're still looking at a $170, $180 book. Ungraded. So you put the two together and you're paying what number 32 is worth raw pressed.
Right. No, it's not the first appearance of the Juggernaut, Ronald. It is not. Hey, Amy, this is all seriousness. I'm not kidding when I say this. Amy, write down this information because if these don't sell tonight, I do not want to sell them at these prices again. I promised the fans these prices tonight, but I am not going to offer them after this show at these prices. They've shot out in value even more than I knew, and these are pretty nice conditions.
Richard asked about Flash Gordon and Doom Patrol.
We do not have any Bronze Age Flash Gordon or Doom Patrol right now. We might be able to get some in. The one thing I'll say, Richard, is we have a lot of relationships with a lot of dealers and a lot of other retailers that we help. So if you have a list of what you're looking for with conditions you're looking for and price points, send them in. We're happy to do the legwork for you. You know, it's not just about the 5 hours a week we're on the air. We prep for these shows. Every 2-hour show takes us 6 hours to get ready for and to figure out and then to ship everything. So while we're doing all that, we're happy to look everything up. So Ronald, I think this may be the third and fourth appearance of the Juggernaut. Maybe Kyle knows. I don't know.
Juggernaut was almost like a cast regular in that first 3-4 year period of the X-Men.
Okay.
You saw the Juggernaut a lot. I think he was at one point he was more popular than Magneto.
Really?
Because he was just, I remember this has got to be 20 years ago.
It was Cain and Abel. It was Cain and Abel.
It was a Cain and Abel story, which they were kind of pushing a little bit more of. And you had this character that was to that
You're
audience,
welcome, Ronald. You're welcome.
1960s audience, it's this guy they can't stop.
Right.
Because, they've said it so many times, it's become part of comic lore.
I really think Stan Lee just had a thesaurus and a dictionary on his desk.
Probably.
And said, I need a name for an unstoppable object. Locomotive. No. That doesn't sound right. Boulder going downhill. No.
Settle down, Sif. That's not going to work.
Faster than a speeding bullet. We might get in trouble for that one.
That's a call from legal. Flo is on the phone. No.
I need something that's like a Juggernaut. I wish I had something that was like a Juggernaut. And then all of a sudden, Flo or Marie Severin's like, Stan, you just said it, Juggernaut.
Who's it, Werner Roth? He's probably already at the board going, I'm way ahead of you, boss. I'm way ahead of you.
Exactly. Werner Roth. Yeah, that's good. That's a good call. Well, Don Heck took over the Avengers for a little bit, and Werner Roth took over the X-Men.
Jay Gavin, wasn't that the pseudonym they used to Werner Roth? Jay Gavin?
I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember now, but one of the things they did, I've seen different images of the Juggernaut over the years, and what was really difficult was getting the right color. It's not supposed to be red. It's not supposed to be brown. And I know in the one color it looks yellow, but that's because it's the sunlight. He's supposed to be crimson,
right?
Which back then when they were printing comics,
it looked like crap.
It didn't look great, and they had the whole thing.
Which is why the Hulk was gray at first. And back in the 40s, why the Phantom was purple.
Oh yeah, when people see that, and of course it's sentimental when I see a purple Phantom, but I'm like, not that purple.
I think people want us to move on. We're getting will you please get to the next item? All right, Vampirella Strikes number 3. This is by Tom Snagowski. This is the series that Tom did for us about 8 years ago. This is a Crimson Red. basically John's favorite Crimson Red cover. This is limited to only 100 copies. I believe. Well, first I'll give you the easy answer. We're going to do this at $10 just for the fun of it. We're going to do this for $10. It's either a $50 or $75 book. I need to find it. It's a $50 book. We were going to do 1969, but because of the fact that we're on the air, feels like we have a few new members. We always pick up readers after the show. Yep. We're going to do this one at $10, not even the 1969 we were going to do. So it's 80% off. It's limited to 100 copies in the world. It's a great book. It's a great read. And, what do you think of this series of Vampy Strikes with Snigowski and Johnny DeSera?
What I liked about this, I talked about this a few minutes ago. There's a couple different, I don't want to say iterations, but there's versions of Vampy. There's, the one where it's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek, where she's cracking wise a little bit, like maybe in Southern Gothic or something like that. This is the more serious, edgy sort of, there's a war with heaven. There's these, angelic soldiers. Vampirella's got a lot on her plate in this series. There's not a whole lot of wisecracking here. This is where you really see her, sometimes you forget how powerful Vampirella is. And then you get something like this, or even something like Aliens of Vampirella, and you realize this is, when you hear it at first, I remember people saying, oh, is that really going to work? Yeah, it really worked. Everybody knows how powerful an alien is. To see her, basically face to face with one of these things, it reminds you that, yeah, sure, obviously a beautiful character, obviously, some humor attached to it. This is a character that, when she wants to be, can be hell on wheels. Yeah. And this book, if that's the Vampirella you're looking for, heads get separated from bodies in this story.
This is definitely,
just to be clear,
this is definitely a Wilfredo Ronald special, right?
It absolutely
it would be an Andrew Cucinato special, but we haven't seen Andrew in a long time, so never trust those Italians.
Shifty.
I know, right? And that's on a good day. Now
I hear my wife throwing my stuff out on the lawn as we speak when I say that.
We're only going to offer 2 of these at $10. That's all we're going to do, just 2 of them. And I've got a feeling John is taking one of the 2.
Yeah. So
we're only offering one of these at $10. We're only offering one of these at $10.
This is my favorite thing to do during a day. You know how Kyle has to do links and email, you have to fill stuff out? Everybody should do that except me, because
Come get the $10.
Come get the $10. I'm saving.
Give it to accounting.
I'm saving them on shipping and handling. You don't have to wrap it.
I know.
Everything Dynamite does comes wrapped really well, by the way. That's a great little thing to mention right there.
It's the most efficient way to sell is to just give it to you.
I don't want to say that, though, because I'm afraid you'll be at work and people will be knocking on the door.
I think we still need to show it.
Oh, sorry.
So there's only one of these left. It'll be $10. It's a great read, and you might want to pick up the Vampy Strikes trade paperback if you get this from your local retailer.
It is a high-octane story.
It is.
It really is. Like I said, a lot of times I reference stuff like Southern Gothic because it's fun. It's a road trip. She's sort of almost poking fun at the hillbilly community a little bit. This is not that.
This is not that?
This is not that.
All right, we're going to do a reader copy of something just for the fun of it. All right, so we have...
Are we at break time?
Are we? Oh, wow, we're past the break time. Sorry. Okay, we'll be back in 2 minutes, everyone.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
Hey. John decided to go mining for some silver or gold, or maybe he went to go mine some NFTs. Anyway, all kidding aside, I was talking about bringing in something for a reader. Here's our FF26. We sold the 25. Here is 26. Now, I'm going to offer this for $60. And I will show you that is exactly how much I paid for it back in the day. I paid $60 for it. So this is a 1.8. This is definitely a reader's copy. I think that normally this could be a $100 book, but you know what? For the fun of it, this is probably the best value I can give here. I've given some good value on the other titles we've had. This is the one that I'm going to offer at my cost, besides the X-Men 137 and the Action Comics, because if this is something that interests you, I want you to be able to get it. John, have a seat. Relax. Come out to the coast. Let's have a few laughs.
As it turns out, my retinal scan doesn't open the emerald green or blood red vaults.
Oh,
so
okay.
I wasn't able to bring any more green.
You can tell them the truth. You're just mining for NFTs.
Oh.
That Bitcoin mining that you do.
Oh my goodness.
So
it's better than having a real job.
Yeah, right? So I bought this from Fat Jacks on their show a few weeks ago. X-Men 137, John Byrne, Death of Phoenix.
For those of you that don't know, Fat Jacks is like a legendary comic book store.
Maybe the oldest store in the country.
I was going to say it might be the oldest store left.
76.
There was a store from Seattle from I think 79 or 80, and they recently decided with the pandemic they were going to become,
online.
Like an online store.
So I picked this up for $45, and I love it. And I just thought, you know what? Just for fun, I'll offer for $45. Fat Jacks, by the way, has a show on Sundays, 6 to 8, right before Aaron of a Comic Shop has his show from 8 to 10. Both are great shows. Both have their own flavor. It's fantastic. By the way, if you're joining us right now, or if you've just been watching recently, we haven't asked, please hit that like button. Please hit those hearts if you're on Facebook or Twitter. Please share, please subscribe, please hit the bell for notifications. We have a show every day. Not myself and John. John has more important stuff to do than to hang with me. Plus, you had to see the disappointment in his face when he walked in and found out Rex wasn't here. He was like, whoa. This is my Wednesday show.
Rex, I miss you, buddy. Come back.
Yeah, don't put me on with Nick. He goes off at the mouth and doesn't even have any linear thoughts. All right, all kidding aside, Fat Jacks had a show a few weeks ago. I picked this up. Rudolph knows. Rudolph's knows. I picked this up for $45. It's a great read. I thought I would bring it in. And then we have Action 600, John Byrne, George Perez, so many other great creators. I picked it up for $8. So wow. I'm going to offer it for the same $8 just because I want to. All right. Let's do some Spidey Man.
I was just looked at that. I was like, don't we have Spider-Man up there?
Yeah, the Clone Conspiracy. This is signed by Jimmy Chung. This is issue number 1. This was Dead No More. The Jackal came back. He conquered death. Spider-Man was outmatched by his entire army. Does the wall crawler stand a chance? Probably, but not according to the book. When you're reading the book now.
Spoilers.
What's the estimated condition on the X-Men 137? Ooh, I apologize. I actually don't know. I didn't look this up because this was literally, after I was looking at the Silver Age, this was something I decided to do. What I will show you is there is a little bit of, it's like not a roll, but it's like a little indentation right there. It's a pretty solid book. Check out the top. I wish I had a better answer for you. But it's really, really great. I don't remember what the condition was. I did buy this for my own collection, and I just thought, look, you just get in the mood, and you're like, all right, just for the fun of it, let me just put this up. I wish I had a better answer. Amy, what's in mint condition X-Men 137 go for? Maybe we could go backwards and figure it out from there. Man, this was... God, did Claremont... we talk about the art, but did Claremont seed stories for years and years out, or did he seed stories for years and years out?
He still hasn't finished stories, and he's been retired for how long?
Are you saying that he's sitting by the fire still telling stories to the kids?
There is a great documentary on, I think it's Amazon Prime, Home of the Boys, that talks about...
Check out the boys.
Check out the boys. Where he talks about this. He talks about, he goes to shows.
So very fine plus, Dave. That's what is being estimated. So go ahead.
He talks about that. Probably the number one question he gets all the time is... It'll be some plot point, something that he seeded, and he's like, I'm at my age now where I have to stop and think for a second. He's sitting on the sofa with, I think, Ann Vicente, and they're just dying laughing because she's like, you've even written more stuff than you can remember. And he talked about it was always the breadcrumbs theory. You know what I mean? You always want to leave people with something a little bit more, and that's like an old trick in writing. Nobody was really doing it that much in comics. Claremont comes in and he just decides it's breadcrumbs everywhere.
Soap opera. He soap operaed it. Look, he soap operaed it. He was great. It's great. Anna Cheney is a potty mouth. That's funny. And
if you see that, yeah, she's colorful.
I love Anna Centi. First of all, she wrote one of the best Daredevil runs with John Romita Jr. And Al Williamson, one of my all-time favorites. She's a fantastic writer. And, her, Louise Simonson, they were such strong creative people. Yeah. And, I think Claremont also needed strong editors because he had such a vision that he definitely
that's been said a bunch of times where he was so certain of what he was doing that we'll say maybe a milder or kinder editor, he or she just got steamrolled because he'd be like, no, wait, let me explain it. And you would get buried under story points and somehow.
And let's not forget X-Men 137, Death of the Phoenix. Claremont and Byrne were not going to kill her. They were not going to kill Jean Grey.
No, they didn't. That was
a Shooter thing.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Shooter was right. You don't destroy a planet, a galaxy, and then get off the hook.
Yeah, they talk about that in that documentary we just mentioned where...
I've got to see that documentary.
It's one of those things where,
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty close for that condition.
Okay. So I'm told it is very close. We're practically there. So if you want this, Dave, you're getting it at my cost. So just heads up. If you don't buy it, no worries. I love the book. It's all good.
Yeah, this is one of these things where if it doesn't sell, you won't be heartbroken. You'll be like, okay.
Look, I'm not heartbroken if people do not buy anything, but if all we do is bring joy to their lives and then they go to their local comic store and buy more comics, we've done our job.
Especially, we were talking about Justice a little while ago, right? Maybe somebody does, somebody did buy it. But even if someone hadn't bought it, if one person watching the show runs over to their LCS and says, hey, they're talking about Justice on this show, maybe I'm not super
do you have issue number 1 by Alex Ross and Jim Kruger? Do you have the first trade or do you have a complete trade?
Your LCS is happy.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have it here. I've got it somewhere else. Let me go find it. Come on, I can put it in your box, whatever.
Keep it warm, Nick. I'll steal another book from you later. Sounds like a plan, Dave. Sounds like a plan. But no stealing. We don't want that. No 5-finger discounts. I like you guys, but no stealing.
There have been people who question the integrity of me being like a foot away from the book, and I hope there's more than one because we're not really getting. One of my buddies, Dave, messaged me on Twitter and he said, I feel the audience is getting a real fair shot at it, and I've said this a lot of times. If somebody else wants a book, I am happy to, step aside, let you have the book, especially if there's only one.
Right.
I don't ever want anyone to think, basically this is me with a GoPro at my comic book store and you're just watching me buy stuff. Certain things that are up here, though, are at such a discounted price. I really feel strongly as a co-host, but also as a collector, these are things that you want. Because I certainly don't ever like to name names or whatever, but I go to a lot of stores. I've been to a lot of shows. I kind of see how the pricing goes. I'm not the expert Kyle is, but I kind of can, read a little bit of the landscape, and I can see where the prices of some of these things are going to be.
Right.
People start maybe going back to those southern
Still love
warm weather
this X-Men
cons.
cover so much. Love that X-Men
There's
cover.
new thrills in the book. It says it right on the cover. They wouldn't put it in there if it wasn't true.
The fateful finale. God, isn't it crazy how the X-Men was a poor seller for years, and then they went into reprints?
They went into reprints, and then when Giant Size X-Men came back, they talked about, like, right up until they made the decision whether to do it or not, they're kind of kicking the pages around, like, will this work? And, you think about that. Now you look at it, and Wolverine, some Storm, these are characters that are, have 7-8 figures attached to their, just that character.
Well, yeah.
And there's a time where it's like, well, I don't think so.
Well, I tell you what, let's move on to Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, number 4, signed by Scott Hanna. This is, I should have this stuff ready here. You hold it up, and I will look it up, because Old Man Nick needs reminders, and I need to make it easy for Kyle. All kidding aside, we love Kyle, and I need to stop screwing up, which I do very well, which should not be a goal. So this is Gold Signature Scott Hanna. We have only one available tonight. It's $89.99, but for tonight we're going to do $62 for 1962, the year Spider-Man first appeared. And then, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, this is Dan Slott. This is Adam Kubert. This is really like the kind of cream of the Spider creative crop. No disrespect meant to any other character creators, but this is about as high level storytelling as it gets in Spider-Man.
And then we have Absolute Carnage signed by Greg Land, and that is $49.99, but for tonight we're doing it at $29.99. I'm trying to open another book, which is why I'm having a slight bit of difficulty.
I'm never opening books. Spoiler alert, people, I'm never opening books.
Well, because this is a double cover, which we'll get to in a second. So those are two great reads. I got to tell you, everything Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman has been doing with Carnage and with Venom has just been out of this world.
They're like alchemists. Everything they touch becomes gold. I mean, literally, It's just, you watch them, you figure, oh, you have to do this, and maybe it's not a character. Everything is in their wheelhouse.
No, to me, they're like the Byrne Claremont of the modern age, the Wolfman Perez of the modern age. They're, the Millar McNiven.
No, I think that's very, that's like spot on.
So Heroes in Crisis number 9, we have the pair, and we are going to have these. They are $69.99 each. We're going to give you the pair for $50. So it's both covers, matching numbers, signed by Tom King and Clay Mann. And check it out.
Yeah, those are
Silver Signature Series. So it's a 5-star read, $50. Now, this is number 9. My favorite part about offering you this, by the way, this is issue 9, but this is number 2 on each. This one's limited to 40 signed. They're both limited to 40 copies signed. If you buy the pair, you will get matching numbers. You will get both covers. And the covers are beautiful. The interiors are even more beautiful because it's sequential, beautiful art by Clay Mann. This is a great story. If you get to pick up number 9, please go to your LCS and pick up number 1 through 8 as individual issues, or pick up the trade paperback. But Heroes in Crisis was controversial, had a lot going for it. Always upset when a Flash is painted bad because Flashes are pure good. Flashes are pure good. They are pure good. They are pure goodness. There's nothing wrong with any Flash.
Why is there no
unless you're reverses? Because we can't have the Flash.
Oh, no.
There's no speedster worth having if it's not the Flash. Not Quicksilver, not the Wizard. What a terrible name, the Wizard. That was one even Stan Lee wouldn't use.
Oh, no.
The World War II character. Who would call a character the Wizard? That's a terrible name.
That is a terrible name. I mean, I love the Invaders. I love the different characters, 7 Sentinels of Liberty, all these different kinds of World War II groups. Wizard's not good.
No. No. Stan's probably sitting there going, why didn't anybody have a thesaurus back then?
Somebody should have used the jogger. The sprinter is better than that.
How about the fast one?
Any of that stuff works.
With the quickness.
What is with the quickness? A-Train. That's sort of with the quickness. I would be shocked if we don't see a character like capitalize on that. Maybe it's a villain. Maybe it's a guest character. I can see.
But I'm the wizard. At least I make John laugh. If no one else is laughing at my bad jokes, at least John is. All right, Man of Steel #1, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. This is #2 of 600. We are going to offer this bad boy at, survey says, you know what? We were going to do $29.99. We're going to keep it at full MSRP, but we're going to do 1938, the year Superman first appeared in Action Comics. I almost did 1986, the year the Man of Steel series came out from John Byrne, because we are definitely having a Byrne night. It's a lot of fun.
It very much is.
So, Man of Steel #1, Brian Michael Bendis. Check out the issue 1 comic. You can pick up issue 2 through 6 from your local comic retailer or pick up the trade paperback. This is #2 of 600. #2 of 600. 1938, a significant savings. Now, Brian Michael Bendis is not only a brilliant writer, creator, but such a stand-up guy. If you go to a convention Brian Michael Bendis is at, he will sign as many books as you bring up to him for free.
He was answering Ultimates questions in the hallway at a con like 3, 4, 5 years ago, maybe. I'm trying to remember. And he was trying to get from one room to another room, and people are just shooting Ultimates questions at him. As he's sort of moving down, he's like trying to answer each person's question. And I think to myself, when you're at that level and you got this much stuff going on, this is like maybe 2015, 16. He's got a lot going on at Marvel. And he's trying to get to every last person's question before he jumps in, goes to a panel, and then answers a whole ton of more questions.
No, he's a great guy. He's talented. You know, it's really amazing having worked with him on signatures, on just knowing him over the years. I've had a few dinners with him and his people. His wife is fantastic. She handles all of his business. It's just so down to earth. They're just such honest, great people to be with. And, you know, to have Brian Michael Bendis' success and be that down to earth is mind-bogglingly great. It just really, really is.
Creatively speaking, after the Ultimates, and he's probably credited for that period of time where he saves Marvel Comics.
But thank God they didn't call it Ground Zero. They were going to call it Ground Zero.
Creatively, this guy could have just sort of, I don't want to say mailed it in, but he could have just stayed in his wheelhouse. Instead, he moves to DC. He decides to take on what's probably the most difficult character to write for. Most people agree, you know, what do you do with Superman? You go one way, you tick off hardcore fans. You go another way, sales take a hit because people are like, yeah, okay, we get it. He can do everything. Nothing is really difficult for this guy. Bendis doesn't even ease his way in with maybe a character that you can have a little more flexibility with. He's like, no, give me Superman. That says a lot about who he is.
#2, the only one we're selling tonight.
That's 600. That's like nosebleed high seats.
Well, we're down to the last few. I mean, according to this list, which I should pay more attention to, we only have 4 copies, but we're only selling 1 tonight at 1938.
Let's spread the wealth a little bit too, because you know there's the person who, you know, maybe they wanted to be in here tonight and they couldn't.
All right, we're gonna go with Chaos #4, Niai Rufino, Virgin Art, Ultra Limited. This is limited to 25 copies in the world. And I need to do the job, which is give the price right away, because otherwise Kyle gets upset. So it is $100 MSRP. We're going to sell only one of these. only one, 1996. Is that right? 1996. You would think I know
It's
this.
the Chastity year, the Evil Ernie year,
1993, the Chaos year.
the Chaos year. Okay.
So 1993. This is $100 book. We're going to sell only one. 1993.
And this is the story.
And David said real quick, Bendis's book on comics, Words for Pictures, is a must-read, and it's available at your local comic store.
Good job.
You got
Dave.
that right, Dave,
Yeah,
at your
sure.
local comic store. And it is a great book, Words for Pictures. You know, it's when you think about Scott McCloud, understanding comics,
And then
Brian Michael
Eisner's
Bendis.
sequential art.
Yep.
And then you get this, and you're sort of looking at textbooks, like if you want to get into the business, like seriously, not just like fantasy writing at your pizza shop. That's the kind of stuff you should read to see how they did it.
Yeah.
Real quick about this. This is something that Chaos fans and some other fans too really were looking forward to. You've got Chastity, which is just this flat out badass vampire assassin, and you think she pretty much can take down everyone until she gets the commission to take down Evil Ernie, and that doesn't work out for her as well as people would think. Evil Ernie is one of those characters that brings a smile on my face. When he came to Dynamite, I was super happy. I know spoilers, but that's a book that, get this, if you don't get this, find the story.
Yeah. It's a 6-issue series. By the way, the artist on this was Mirka Andolfo. Tim Seeley wrote it. Mirka Andolfo drew it, one of her first books, and it is just beautiful. Now, this is the Nei Rufino vegan edition. I forgot. The gin that is ver. The gin that is ver. Logoless edition. But
that's a good word for it. Kyle is right, though. The algorithm picks up things, and you know what I mean? People wind up getting thrown into spam filters and all this other stuff.
I think Kyle decided to take a nap because this is the longest. This is the longest we've gone without him chiming in, making fun of me. So
did we check the private chat? Because isn't that what he usually?
Oh, actually, you know what? There is.
This is the longest you've ever gone without screwing up.
Wow.
Heyo.
Damn. Don't feed the monkeys. I guess I'm the monkey.
Oh no.
So
there's one panel in this book in particular. I don't remember if it's in this issue or not, but Chastity is surprised.
Oh, foil seal. You can open it and read it.
The interior art's really cool, but there's a panel where, I guess at this point Chastity's used to just kind of, bagging, tagging, and sort of picking up picking up her commission. Evil Ernie turns out to be a much different proposition than she's used to.
God, Mirka's art.
There's not a lot you can threaten a zombie with. And
1993, limited to only one person getting the Gin That Is Ver art. The Gin That Is Ver cover.
Oh, boy.
The Gin That Is Ver.
Hopefully the algorithm doesn't decode that too quickly.
I doubt it. Unless all of a sudden the word gin is bad.
And the screen goes dark. Oops.
Do you know how much gin costs these days?
End of code. End of line.
You know how much? Yeah, right? So we are going on to our last break of the night.
Okay.
And these are called vegan covers because we can't say the other word. Got to keep that in mind.
Logoless is good, though. That's a great alternative.
How about Pure Art? I like
another one.
This is a Pure Art cover. For those who don't know, we can't use a word that starts with ver and that ends with gin. So minimal trade dress, that's another one. Well, there's no trade dress. There's no trade dress.
Oh, that's true.
Minimal trade dress is what DC does, where they have very little trade dress on the B covers.
Oh, yeah.
This is no trade dress. So Pure Art, Pure Art. Check it out. Look at Smiley. So we will be back in about 3 minutes, and this is the last break of the night, and we will come back with some more silver and some more cool collectibles. Can't wait to see you in a few minutes.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Today's comics market is ripe with new titles by creators who are determined to get their books into your hands. My name is Henri Compen. For the last decade, I've been making and selling my own creator-owned comics and dealing as a collector in live sales. My signature series, Yi Sun Shin, is the book that cannot be defeated in battle and has over 250,000 copies in print. Now I'm taking comics to the next level and laying the groundwork for my fellow creators to get their voices heard so they can connect directly with you. This is your chance to engage live with top comic book talent and get your comics signed without having to wait in long lines or pay any fees. But remember, we only have a limited amount of their books in stock, so always remember to call it as you see it.
So we were talking about Julian Lennon and we're just goofing on stuff. But for maximum trade dress, we're going to go for maximum. Fantastic Four 26 reader copy 1.8. I have said that I am offering this at the price I paid, $60. This is definitely a reader's copy.
This is back when comic covers looked like cable news, where there's scrolls going up the side and across, and there's a
scrolls, not scrolls.
Scrolls. Depends on the book.
Then we have, this one not for sale. That was with the 137. I was having,
wow, that came off.
I'm like, wait. No. This is Kitty Pryde. 139 and 171 with Rogue. Welcome to the X-Men. Hope you survived the experience. I love those 2 books. So you have no idea how many copies of 139 I have. I have multiple copies.
It's just a great cover, though. It's kind of the whole like hubcap type of cover. It's just...
First Heather Hudson. It's the first Heather Hudson too.
She went on to become Vindicator, I guess.
After she killed her husband. She had that was a great setup too. Like, oh no, I loved him. I just interrupted him as he was defusing the bomb.
Oh, okay.
How much is the life insurance
for? I would love to see in some form is Vindicator. Maybe even if they did it in like a cool set in the 80s series.
Yeah.
Like the superhero that was forgotten.
What was the most genius thing John Byrne did with Alpha Flight that if you weren't paying attention, you didn't realize? Think of issue 1 through 12, not 13 at the funeral, 1 through 12. What was the most genius thing that John Byrne did?
Other than making them Canadian?
Yeah, other than making them Canadian.
No, share it.
They only appear together in the first issue and the 12th issue.
Oh,
every issue in between was solo stories.
Yep.
right?
And we see a lot more of that now, but he was the
Or
first one.
or the other groups, Beta Flight,
Beta Flight, Gamma Flight.
Gamma Flight, yeah. But other than that, it was solo stories. So that is something that if you weren't paying attention, and he was so genius. John Byrne really is one of the smartest creators the industry's ever had.
Storytelling, that's like a slow burn.
Yeah. And, when it comes out monthly, it's on time. You're like, wow. Yeah. All right. FF number 8. This is the first Puppet Master. I think it's the first Alicia Masters as well, but I can't tell you for 100% sure. This is $375 on Go Collect. So what we're going to do tonight, if you want FF number 9, we'll do $350. I'm sorry, FF number 8. Sorry about that. FF number 9, which was the second Submariner. This is a 4.0. It's $499 on coverprice.com. So let's see, it's $499. It's a Fantastic Four. We'll do it for $400. So Fantastic Four number 9, 4.0, $400. I gotta stop making up the discounts on the fly. Fantastic Four number 10, also 4.0, $375 on GoCollect.com. We'll just do $350 if you're interested. Then we have Fantastic Four 45. This is the big one. First appearance of the Inhumans. Not Medusa, but the Inhumans. It is $369 on cover price, $350 on Go Collect. We'll do the $350 price. We actually had this higher because it is these days getting a 5.0 for this is not that easy, but And
books with the Inhumans jumped. The Inhumans TV series was not critically acclaimed or successful.
It wasn't that good.
But the comics that came afterwards.
I'm sorry, that's the most negative thing you'll hear me say, but think about it. Basically, they had people fight to earn the right to either be above or below. I mean, that was just so like, what the heck? That it is probably the worst thing you'll hear me say because I love the Marvel movies. I love the Marvel TV series. I'm so looking forward to What If. And when it came to the Inhumans,
that was a swing and a miss. That was a big swing and a miss.
I was like, okay.
Characters running around Hawaii. There's a lot of great settings for superhero adventure.
That wasn't one of them.
Hawaii is a setting for a private eye adventure, not for superheroes. It just didn't work. However, the comics, though, Jay Lee worked on some of this stuff. The Inhumans at the time was rocket hot what they were doing. And it really pushed a lot of these books with these early Inhumans appearances. It pushed them.
Well, speaking of early appearance, Ramatat, he at the end, Kang, how many different versions?
He's been Immortus, he's been Ramatat, he's been rumored to be, he might have been the Sphinx in Nova.
Yep. So this is a 5.0, 575 on Go Collect. I'm going to have fun. It's the Fantastic Four. We're going to act like it's the Fantastic 3 because Sue Storm is with Ramatat. So we're going to do this for $300.
Oh, that's probably the Silver Age move of the night for people.
Yep. $575 on Go Collect for this. We're going to do this like it's the Fantastic 3 or the Entrapped 3. Because the fourth is marrying Ramatat. So here she's cheating on
She's marrying up. She's always looking to marry up.
Submariner. No, Ramatat. She's even leaving Submariner for Ramatat. You know what? He probably said, listen, you can visit the skies. You can visit the seas. You can visit the timelines with me. We can go in the past, the future, whatever you want to. You know what? You're in the mood for old Victorian clothing. I got the time machine.
That's why Reed Richards built all those machines. Somebody was trying to make time with his wife, and he just clicked. No, you're all done.
You're done. You're dead. I mean, when you think about it, so you had Jean Grey, who we've talked about this, the creepiest thing in the X-Men. is Professor X.
Oh, I can't. She's like a daughter to me, and then he's staring at her out a window
Like,
of his
she'll
wheelchair.
never care for me like that.
No, she
It's
won't,
like-
dude. Get over it.
It's like,
With a brain that powerful, you should be able to take that out of your own head.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, I don't want to remember
but Sue
that.
Storm, that's who they wrote the song Run Around Sue with.
No?
Where are we going with this? We are just trying to have
Silver
some fun.
Age humor.
Well, let's see. Time Travelers should have known it wasn't going to go well. I'll take Uncanny X-Men 33. You got it, Jared. Uncanny X-Men 33 is sold.
Nice. 33.
I will say this is a beautiful copy. I think you made a good call.
I think someone's going to get that press.
Just so
clean.
forth, can you go through the X-Men? I can, Chris. Not a problem.
Sure. That's one of those.
Just 33 is sold.
Yeah, that's one of those books that someone's going to get clean, and they're going to be happy when they
Oh,
get
yeah.
the grading back from.
So we have X-Men 31, Cobalt Man. X-Men 32, Part 1 of the Juggernaut.
And the color in the Juggernaut's costume lets you know how nice a color
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
Because when you see a lot of these old books, and maybe the cover condition isn't that great, Juggernaut looks like he's wearing some weird brown sort of. It's not great.
The 31 is a 5.0. The 32 is a 7. I want to just show it one more time. Look at how beautiful this is. I mean, minimal spine ticks. It is just beautiful. Just 7.0. Did I show the 34 yet? No. X-Men 34 is a 5.0. X-Men 33, we just showed this sold out. X-Men 35 is, sorry, I'm getting old. You would think I would, is a 4.0. Along Came a Spider. X-Men 36, Mikano leaves. The story before Mikano dies. This is a 4.5. 37. This is really, this is just a really cool book. 37 is a 4.0. 38, you gotta love the Vanisher and the Blob together. 38 is a 6.5. Really nice condition considering it's a white cover. 39, the Not Brand X Copycat. Actually, not Brand X Copy. This is a 4.0.
New costumes. That's just a nice.
Yeah. And 40, which, come on, Frankenstein is a 4.5. And then you probably missed this. I have two books that I'm offering at the price I just paid for them, just for fun. X-Men 137. I just bought this off the Fat Jack show a few Sunday nights ago. $45. And I just bought this Action 600 for $8. So I'm offering these at the prices I paid. And I showed this earlier. Definitely a reader's copy. FF26. It's a 1.8. When I was showing, I paid $60 for it. And I'm offering it for $60. Sorry, screen froze. What did you have 32 in those? 33 is the one we sold, right?
Yes.
So 32, don't worry about it, man. 32 is a 7.0. It is and we were saying this is $145 on cover price, $200. Hold on a second. 32, yeah. 144 on coverprice.com, $200 on Go Collect. And I think what I said was, what did I say I was going to do on this? Amy, do you remember? Please tell me. Yeah. $100. So we're offering this for just $100.
That's a beautiful copy from him.
It is. It's a 7.0. I mean, when you look at it, it's, Little bit of yellow, but not bad. Very few spine ticks. Really great condition. It's a 7.0. And we're always going to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible you'd get that back from grading and it would be above a 7. That's not.
There's a chance. There is a chance. I'll take it. I've been hunting for it for a long time. You got it, Chris.
Yep.
It's yours for $100.
I'm really glad because that's a great copy at that price.
It is a great copy, and it's so trippy that we sold 32 and 33, the 2-part story, to two different people. That is so awesome.
You guys text each other to find out how to story.
Exactly. Are you getting that one? I'm going to get that one. All right. So what I want to say is that please, if you're late coming into this, hit like, hit hearts if you're on Facebook or Twitter, like if you're on YouTube, share us even though we only have 13 minutes left. Please feel free to share us, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We really, really appreciate your time. I sent you an email about the others you were checking on for me. Yes, that's right. And I'm still looking for them, Chris, so we will get back to you. But you definitely got the sweet deal. And I can't believe I'm an idiot. You know what? I actually had this set aside for Chris. Thank God you came on. I am so sorry. I am such an idiot. Oh, my God. Forgive me. So everybody else, Nick's an idiot. So that's the no prize of the night. You know, we'll figure out something. I'm sorry, dude. So, well, I'm glad you got it. And thank you for saying no worries. Make sure I pay you guys. Yes. There's information where you can fill out the form to pay us. So I'm so glad you came on board tonight. I'm glad you saw it. By the way, everybody, we have shows from 5 to 11 every day. We have content shows. We have interview shows. We have review shows. We have sales shows. Kyle, who's being very silent tonight, I just hope he's still alive. He does a show on Tuesday nights with Dan Wickline.
Well, what did Kyle say? He's like, you haven't screwed up that much, so I haven't had to jump in here.
Exactly.
I'll cop. I'm not feeling particularly well tonight. It's been a long few days. But I've been here. You guys have done great. I'm super glad Chris bought that X-Men book because then I was going to have to if he didn't. Because that's one of the 2 in the 30s I need.
Wow.
And we actually sold them both tonight, which, I'll take. And I may be picking up a couple of Fantastic Four books that I didn't know Nick had later.
We're going to be seating in silver and bronze as we go. It's going to be fun. Listen, we have a lot more coming. We just want to make sure we bring something new and exciting every show. But, Kyle, real quick, for the shows that I don't remember, Dynamite Dynamic Forces, we're on Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 8.
Yep.
And Fridays from 7 to 8 is the original art experience.
Yep. Coming up next is Kicking It with Henri and Kevin. They've got more modern stuff, but it's great.
It is great. It's a lot of fun.
Tomorrow night, we will have talking starting at 6 or 5 o'clock. We'll have an interview. We'll have Talking Shop tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock with myself and Mark Mullaney of Ninja Bear. Then we have Miss Jen's What's in the Box show, which literally no one knows what's going to be on that show. She goes into the warehouse.
I love that show. The What's in the Box.
Yeah, she goes in the long box and grabs 2 long boxes and goes in the warehouse, and we see what happens. And then Dan Wickline's show tomorrow night will feature Jim Raish, I think is how you say his last name. He's an illustrator and comic book artist. He's an indie creator on Dan's show tomorrow night.
And, Saturdays, we have a lot of content. Sundays, we have Fat Jacks at 6 o'clock. We have I think Dan has a show at 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Starts at that show.
Yeah,
that start time is moving, and I've got to figure out what it is to fill in for the spot that we vacated with the Comic Collectibles show moving to Monday. So Dan's show is moving down. I just don't remember exactly the start time.
Got
off
it.
the top of my head.
Fat Jack's on Sunday, which
Guys,
is
let me cue you in on a real fun thing. If you show up to the Fat Jack show on Sundays, Nick is there as a buyer, and you can buy things out from under him.
Nice.
Jared's 33 was the last one he needed for the 30s. So much appreciated. Awesome, Jared.
Nice.
And on Monday, this coming Monday from 6 to 8, we'll have X-Men 41 to 50. So, and we'll bring in some FFs too while we're at it. And pretty soon we're going to have some Spider-Mans and more. We're going to have some Supermans. We're really going to start seeding everything in, you know? And speaking of Fat Jacks, I bought these at Fat Jacks, and the only thing better than sniping these from me is if you buy them back tonight at the price I paid, $45 for the X-Men, $8 for the Action 600. Listen, like I said, we're sharing the love. We want to bring you great shows. We want to bring you shows that give you some information, that give you some fun. We're so appreciative that you allow us into your home. You could be doing anything right now, watching any shows. You could be, watching TV, doing anything, but you're giving us your time, and we so appreciate it. So we want to make it as fun as possible, but we also want to try our best to get you to go to your local comic store. Like I said, while it would be great if you buy from us so that on the stuff that I actually make money on for the company so I can pay the employees, that'll be great. But even if just some of what we excite you with, you're able to then go to your local comic retailer, buy some more comics, support the entire industry. We're all in this together. You know, we're all in this together. So we just want to grow the market. I've said this before, there's billions and billions of dollars being spent every year creating movies, TV series, video games, action figures, apparel, trading cards, then marketing them, and then selling them and generating revenue. Let's get as much of that back into the comics as possible. Not enough people realize how important comics are. You know, I mean, if you look at it, even Loki just now, he had President Loki.
Yeah, President Loki. We had President Loki. We had Child Loki, and that Journey into Mystery, that was super white hot when he was the child. Remember that? I imagine we'll probably see more of at least some of those alternate Lokis in season 2. I'd be very surprised if we didn't.
The ones that survived the battle?
The one that survived the battle. No spoilers. Some people still haven't seen anything, but, you know.
I want to see Alligator Loki. I want Alligator Loki.
You might see Alligator Loki. One thing I wanted to mention that we're kind of in the X-Men and Fantastic Four vein of the Silver Mine. Keep in mind, both the Fantastic Four and X-Men are going to be relaunched by Disney.
Yeah.
My guess would be that is probably going to push the prices of the existing 2 books higher.
Right.
So, you know, next year, a $150 book might be $190 or $200.
Look, these books are shooting up in price just because of COVID, because people are spending money. That's the reason.
They're home.
Yeah.
And essentially, this is something you can do. You watch the show. We appreciate that. You know, you click the link, you follow the instructions, Rex or whoever gets the stuff out to you, and you don't have to leave your house.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're getting all this sort of great, you know, buzz without having to leave your house. Just the rumor last year during the pandemic that, oh God, I can't think of his name. Him and his wife's name is Emily Blunt. I can't think of his name. Just the rumor.
John Krasinski.
Just the rumor that those people were going to be Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm, and that was not true. But just the rumor out there was clearing off LCS shelves of Fantastic Four books.
And the issues they thought that Marvel would be doing. And look, I mean, they had the back of the head of a character, I forget whom, in episode 5 of Loki, and the couple of issues of Marvel 2-in-1 or Marvel Team Up shot up in price to triple what it was.
So if you
we don't suggest, listen, to be clear, we do not suggest you buy any comics for speculation. That is the one thing we ask you not to do. We bring up what's happening just to give you context.
Yeah.
We bring up what's going on so that you're aware. We don't want to withhold information from you, but we don't want you to buy anything based on speculation. We want you to buy it because you'll enjoy it, because you're curious about it, or because it's convenient for you, or because it's the right price that it's worth trying out. We never want to see you buy anything on speculation and then regret it. If you buy it for every other reason and you regret it, that's fine.
It's true, but with the Silver Age books, they're only getting older, which means they're only getting more valuable.
Right.
When you have a market now which is very affected reflexively by what's happening in a video game.
Yeah.
Marvel Avengers, a new skin
look
is downloaded
at Miles
for a character.
Morales. Ultimate Fallout #4 cover sold for $225,000.
It's a market where if you're thinking of buying something, now we're not talking about value, we're talking about, we had Chris and he's trying to fill in a collection, right?
Yeah.
He knows at some point he's going to fill this in. That's his, fill it in sooner rather than later.
We got to wrap this up just real quick. We're not going to go over the ones we didn't show. Action Comics 1000 Remark hand drawn, $89.99, $50 tonight. Dwayne Straczynski, Deadpool versus X-Force, signed 1990, the year Cable first appeared. I don't know why we did Cable and not X-Force. Chaos Comics pure art cover, vegan, because you can't say the ver with the other gin. 1993, that's a $100 book. We sold out of masks.
Yes.
We have only one copy of Man of Steel #1, issue 2 of 600, signed by Brian Michael Bendis, 1938. We had Heroes in Crisis. We have both #9 covers here, signed by Tom King and Clay Mann. We had this at the special price, I can't remember, $50. 5-star book, $50. We're running out of time, so let me just say this. I'll be back on Friday from 7 to 8 with the original art experience. Tune in just to watch Kyle make fun of me and snipe art that I only want to sell to new collectors, and he buys it anyway. On Monday, we're back. We will have more Silver Age X-Men and FF. We might even have a little bit of Golden Age.
Ooh.
And Spencer Beck has threatened to be on the air for a half hour selling artwork, which I have called down the gauntlet on that to see how many pieces he can do in a half hour. He is going to try and do 45 pieces in a half hour. The gauntlet, and what I didn't tell him is he only has 27 minutes. So let's keep that between us. No one here, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or website, watching it now, watching it later, keep it private between us.
You don't think Spencer is watching now behind like a VPN or something?
I doubt it. I didn't tell him we were on. He thinks Rex is on. He only wants to watch when he can make fun of me. So I never told him it was
Rex.
me. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you'll see me on Friday. If not, hopefully you'll see us on Monday, 6 to 8. And, of course, we'll be back next Wednesday, 6 to 8. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and enjoy the experience. There's more to come.
Have a great night, everybody.